Hello friends, sovereignty is the basic element of a state. A state cannot exist without sovereignty. Sovereignty is the ability of a state to take its own internal and external decisions. Sovereignty is very important for a state to exist in the world order. In this video, we are going to study about sovereignty. Welcome to SRIRAM's IAS UPSC Prep channel. Welcome to this series, Indian Polity through Mind Maps. Let's see what is there. Now, before I start, I would like to tell you about the free one-to-one mentorship of SRIRAM's IAS. We provide free one-to-one mentorship, and if you have any doubt regarding your preparation, you can come to SRIRAM's IAS. The only thing you have to do is to go to the description of this video, click the link, fill the form, and we will reach out to you. Now, moving on to sovereignty. Now, this is the parliament. It's the AI image of a parliament. Why parliament has always been shown as the symbol of sovereignty? Although in India people are sovereign, but the will of the people is reflected in parliament. Parliament is, and along with parliament, the state legislative assemblies also, they are the reflection of the will of the people, and people are sovereign in our nation. So sovereignty is a very critical aspect of governance. Sovereignty, think about it. If a country does not have the ability to take its own internal decisions, its own external decisions, and its decisions are influenced by some external power directly or indirectly, how will the country survive? दोस्तों, कुछ सालों पहले तक, कुछ डिकेड्स पहले तक कॉलोनियलिज्म रैम्पेंट वे में चल रहा था. अगर आप देखें तो भारत भी करीब 200 साल तक कॉलोनी बना रहा, और भारत के साथ बहुत से ऐसे देश हैं जो कॉलोनी थे. अब जब आप किसी की कॉलोनी होते हैं तो दूसरे देश का वर्चस्व आपके ऊपर रहता है, आपकी इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर नहीं रहती है और सॉवरेनिटी आपके पास नहीं रहती है. तो आई होप यू आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्लियर कट डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन what sovereignty is and what sovereignty is not. Sovereignty does not exist when your decision making is controlled by somebody who is not from your country, somebody who doesn't sit in the parliament, who is not elected by the people of the country, but from an element which is an outside element. It can be other country, it can be other organization or anything. Now, there are several features of sovereignty. First thing, there is something called internal sovereignty and there is something called external sovereignty. Internal sovereignty is within the territory of the country. एक ही territory के अंदर आप किस तरह से अपने decision ले पाते हैं, क्या properly आप अपने decision ले पाते हैं, उसको sovereignty कहा जाता है. For example, किसी तरह का law पास करना है पार्लियामेंट से, और उसके लिए किसी बाहर की country आपको अगर प्रेशराइज कर रही है, तो क्या ये आपकी sovereignty दिखाता है? ये तो बिल्कुल अगेंस्ट है आपकी सॉवरेनिटी के. सॉवरेनिटी सिंपली मीन्स व्हेन यू हैव द एबिलिटी फ्रीली टू टेक योर ओन डिसीजन. नो अदर पावर, या तो वो कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, मल्टीलेटरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, यूनिलेटरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, वर्ल्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, या तो कोई एक्सटर्नल कंट्री है, अगर आपको फोर्स कर रही है किसी तरह का लॉ बनाने के लिए, सो इट is hampering your sovereignty. That in one or the other way is called the internal sovereignty. External sovereignty का मतलब foreign domination absent है किसी भी तरह से, और आप अपने एक्सटर्नल डिसीजंस को बहुत अच्छे से ले पाते हैं. जनरली सॉवरेनिटी के अंदर ये इंटरनल एक्सटर्नल दोनों आ जाता है और इसको बाइफर्केट करके देखा नहीं जाता है. बट फॉर योर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग वी हैव बाइफर्केटेड इट इनटू इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल सॉवरेनिटी. इन जनरल, sovereignty simply means that your own ability to take decisions, internal decisions and external decisions, without any kind of dominance, without any kind of pressure from outside. I hope you are getting it. Now, what are the key features here? Now, before we go to key features, the supreme authority. This word is very important. Supreme authority, independent authority to take the inside and outside decisions. Now, the key feature, if you look at it, political independence, economic sovereignty, territorial integrity and people's sovereignty. सबसे पहले देखिए people's sovereignty. What is people's sovereignty? That the people are supreme in this country. People elect their representative, who in turn elects the executive, and that executive implements the law and the parliament makes the law for the country. Similarly, it happens in the state legislatures also. So the will of the people is reflected in the parliament, and the will of the people is also reflected when it comes to laws, legislations, ordinances, policies and schemes which are made by the government chosen by the people. Now, the territorial integrity. The territory of India, if somebody even takes an inch of our land, it in some or the other way infringes or violates the integrity of our country. And that is the reason why the territorial integrity is very important. Not even an inch of land can be taken away by the other country. And if that happens, the countries are ready to even go to war. The war has been fought on the piece of land. You see the Aksai Chin area or the POK area. We truly want that land to be ours, but there is a foreign hand, a foreign domination on that, and too much of international politics has been played on that. But still, somewhere it is against the sovereignty principle. They are trying to hurt the sovereignty, violate the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of India. And hence, we are going to take it back, if not now, in future, but it will be ours. Economic sovereignty, and it has not gone anywhere, but the dominance of the government of India has comparatively decreased. Look at the regions of POK. Now, in the new union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, there is a legislative assembly, and in that legislative assembly there are around 104 members. Out of these, 90 belong to Jammu and Kashmir and 24 belong to Pak occupied Kashmir. Now this 24 seat which belong to the Pak occupied Kashmir are generally empty. Why? Because the domination of Indian government is quite low in POK compared to the domination of a foreign country called Pakistan. So anyway, we are going to get it back in future. It is a matter of time. So the territorial integrity is very, very important. Economic sovereignty. We have the ability to take our own decisions, our own economic decisions. When it comes to economics, it is not only internal but also the external decisions we take. What kind of treaty, free trade treaty or any other kind of treaty which hampers our ability to give to put tariffs or to do some economic changes in our own country. In one or the other way, the international treaties also impact the internal economics, but we have the total domination, we have the total independence to take decision on any foreign treaty in relation to the economics of the country. That is what is called इकोनॉमिक सॉवरेनिटी. किसी भी तरह का अगर कोई रूल्स रेगुलेशन बन रहे हैं इंटरनेशनल बॉडी के द्वारा, अगर वो इंडिया के फेवर में नहीं है, सो नोबडी कैन प्रेशराइज इंडिया टू गो एंड साइन दैट ट्रीटी. वी कैन बी अगेंस्ट दैट ट्रीटी एंड वी should not enter that treaty which hampers our own economic interest. So in the field of economics also, this is one of the key feature of sovereignty. Political independence, of course this is very important. We cannot have elements in our country which are run by the foreign government, which are influenced by the foreign government or foreign organization. So all these are very much important key features. We don't even want a minister, we don't even want a member of parliament or any official to be influenced by a foreign country or a foreign organization. We want him or her, whoever is a public servant, to be free of any fear, to be free of any kind of dominance or pursuance from the external power. Now that is called sovereignty, and this political independence is one of the important element of that sovereignty. Now if you look at the constitutional reflection of sovereignty in our constitution, you will see article number 1, India is the union of states. It tells, it defines India, it is the union of state, and it establishes the country as a single union which is free from any kind of external domination. Along with it, if you look at article 51, India is independent to enter any kind of treaty, any kind of external what we have that conventions and other things. But at the same time, India also wants international peace. India also wants friendly relation with the neighboring countries, friendly relations with the external world. and that can only happen when a country is sovereign in itself. So India is sovereign, and that is the reason why India talks about international peace. That is the reason why India talks about friendly relation with the neighbor. That is the reason why India talks about solving the international disputes with arbitration rather than with war. Only a sovereign country can do so. If a country is not sovereign and is controlled by the other factors, then how can it ask or urge for international peace or friendly relation with the neighbor? So this is the constitutional reflection of sovereignty. This is a very important thing. Now, if you see the historical context, Government of India Act were passed, so many of them, and finally in 1947, the Independence of India Act was passed. Now, according to this Act of 1947, two dominions were made, separate dominions, two different nations were made, and both were made totally autonomous. Although both of them, India and Pakistan, were called as the dominion of the British Empire because of the Commonwealth, that both of them were the members of Commonwealth and they accept the crown of the Britain to be the head of the Commonwealth. But they were totally autonomous. They can make their own decision, they can make their own parliament, they can make their own constitution, and whatever they want to do, in whichever way they want their socio-economic life to be, it was very much possible. So this period continued from 1947 to 1950. Or 1950 के बाद, when the constitution gets commenced, we elect our president and we become fully sovereign. Now, I am not saying that in these 3 years India was not sovereign. India was very much sovereign. But it was only that India entered the Commonwealth and accepted the British crown to be the head of the Commonwealth. The act called India and Pakistan to be the dominion. Now it is very important for you to understand that the questions were raised during that time कि अगर हम Commonwealth के member बन जाते हैं तो क्या ये हमारी sovereignty को hamper नहीं करेगा? Jawaharlal Nehru has given a very good answer to it. It was saying that we have become the member of Commonwealth by our own will, and if we want, we can leave that organization at any point in time. So it does not hamper our will at all. It does not hamper our decision making ability at all. हम किसी भी समय Commonwealth के member बन सकते हैं और किसी भी समय Commonwealth को छोड़ सकते हैं. And this is true for all the other organization, multilateral, unilateral, all kind of organizations of the world. Now, judicial view on sovereignty. If you see sovereign country, this is one of the term which is mentioned in the preamble. If you see the nature of Indian state, India is a sovereign democratic republic. It's a socialist country. It's a secular country. So all those things, all those important values are already mentioned in the preamble of the country. And under the Keshwananda Bharti case, sovereignty is one of the basic structure of the constitution. Similarly, in the Raj Narayan case, the free and fair election became a very big motto which the court has propounded. Why? Because the free and the fair election is very important for the democratic functioning of the Indian society, and until and unless we have the democratic nature of our society. Think about it. The parliament, the most representative body, needs free and fair election, and until we have the free and fair election, then how can we claim to be sovereign? That is important for us to understand, especially as far as the internal sovereignty goes. So this free and fair election have a direct link with sovereignty. Now, there are few challenges which you have to see, and they may not be challenges but are considered challenges by few people, like globalization. IMF is one body, WTO is one body, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, all these bodies are there. But India has become their member, and India can leave this organization at any point in time. That is what sovereignty is. Nobody can influence us, persuade us. Nobody can push us, pressurize us to enter any organization, to enter any treaty, to sign any convention. But it is our own ability, without any kind of pressure, freely to take our own decisions. Border disputes are there, as we have already discussed, the territorial integrity issue, border disputes, terrorism. If there is any kind of terrorist act on India, any kind of terrorist attack on India by any foreign funded sources, then it is considered to be the violation of Indian sovereignty. It's a very important thing you must understand. Similarly, the cyber threats, similarly, regional separatism also. If few people stand up to say that we want to make another nation and we want to get out of India, we do have the Khalistanis demanding that. That is against the sovereignty of the country. So these are few challenges you must remember. The separatist movements, the cyber attacks by the other countries, or some illegal organizations, terrorist organizations. At the same time, the terrorist attacks such as the Pahalgam attack which happened recently, it was against the sovereignty of the country, and that is the reason why India has replied or retaliated or responded to it in such a great fashion. So that is what is all about sovereignty. It is the ability of the country to take its own decision without any kind of external pressure. The decisions can be internal decisions, the decisions can be external decisions. So thank you very much for joining me in this video. I am going to come up in the next video with a very important topic. Thank you very much. Keep watching. Jai Hind.